And here's the trippy part about being jealous and insecure. Here's what I need you to understand.
Don't date women when you're insecure. That's annoying. Do you want to be asked every time you leave where you going, when you're coming back, who you with? That shit is annoying.
Let's talk about it.
Insecurity leads to jealousy. Jealousy leads to possessiveness. That's trauma. That is toxic behavior.
It's about the unhealthy dynamic that starts to take place in a relationship where you're trying to appease a person's insecurity. You now showing up to the relationship to perform for them, to make them feel good, to make them feel like they belong, and to make them so whatever it is that you were going to be naturally in the relationship, whatever best self you had is now put on the back burner for whatever version of you they need you to be to feel secure. How long do you continue to morph yourself into what somebody else needs you to be to feel satisfied in a apparently, no disrespect, you're not doing a good job. If he on your ass about it every day, you're clearly not manipulating yourself the way he wants you to. So what you finna do?
That shit is draining.
Tell me what kind of balance you can find in a relationship when your partner is constantly blaming you for lying and cheating because they had past issues with partners being unfaithful. Wait, that's your problem? Nah, that don't sound right. You having the ability to discern those insecurities and the projection issues of a partner that feels like they can't trust you is supremely important to understanding that that's a them problem. Here's the other thing. It ain't your job to stick around and let them work through their internal conflict they're going through right now. Love shouldn't need to go through phones. Question you like the motherfucking FBI about where you've been and what you've been doing. It ain't your responsibility as a grown-ass man or woman having to explain yourself after you've given no reason to not be trusted. So you can stay there in hopes that your partner gets better, understands you. This type of immature ass behavior tells me that they ain't ready for what you ready for. They can't commit wholeheartedly, show the vulnerability, give the effective communication necessary to have a healthy relationship that stands the test of time.
Control is not love. I want to say that again. Control is not love. If someone needs to control you to feel secure, that's not a relationship. That's a fucking prison. Yep.
They question her motives, her loyalty, her love. The war inside their head becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. They fear losing her, and in doing so, they push her away.
Where you going? Where you coming back? Where you come? Why you answer the phone? That shit is annoying. And y'all don't know that because y'all ain't never had no women sweat y'all like that. But as a man who's had women sweat him like that, that shit is annoying. And I would never put no woman through that no shit like that because it's annoying. And I don't want to be the dude that's making people feel like that. You understand what I'm saying?
You can affirm your husband every single day. You can reassure him that you are solid and you're with him. But you cannot secure another person's insecurities 100%. That is his responsibility.
Don't be insecure. Like if you insecure, then what's the point of being in a relationship? You asking her where she going, you think that's gonna stop her from cheating if she wanted to cheat? No, a person gonna do whatever they're gonna want to do.
Even though there's been no history or situation that would justify that accusation, and that is leaking their fears and insecurities of being left or abandoned.
There's no difference between doing this against somebody who would go to hit you and defending yourself against somebody who's making a false accusation against you. You need to have a standard that you're going to be in a relationship with somebody who sees you and recognizes the integrity that you bring to the relationship. Here's what you're going to say to the person making those false accusations. Unless you have proof, I don't want to hear anything like this ever again from you. Because I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who doesn't see me. I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who doesn't recognize the integrity that I bring to a relationship. I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who constantly puts me in a defensive position over something that isn't even true. And if this is happening because of your insecurities, you need to get help for that. But I'm not going to stay in a relationship with somebody who does not address their mental health and vomits on me instead. You doing that is detrimental to my mental health. And I'm not going to be in a relationship with somebody who's detrimental to my mental health. you. I'm not going to do this with you anymore. And I want you to understand that if you do this again, I'm going to tell myself that you're choosing to do that, even though I told you how I felt about it. And I'm not going to want to be with somebody who doesn't care about what I say and doesn't care about what I feel.
And what I mean is, when you're both in a relationship and he starts to feel insecure or he starts to want control, what he'll do is try to blame you for things that are not true, try to make you feel guilty. And sometimes he'll even take situations that are small and make it something much bigger. Oh, you're looking at that guy, aren't you? Oh, you think that you just want to be single, huh? Yeah, you don't even want me. He starts these little invalidation techniques. And what that does is makes you feel like, oh no, I want to explain. No, I don't like him. No, I don't want to be single. I want you. But he's not doing it because he actually believes that's true. He's doing it because he wants to put you in a position where you feel like you want to explain yourself. And he keeps doing this over time.
Because your partner is insecure. Well, you don't tolerate it. You see, the insecurity of someone else is going to dictate the way in which you live only if you allow it. You see, it's an issue that they need to deal with. There's nothing that you can do to repair insecurity, because if you don't go to that event, it's going to grow. You can't go to that event or that event. If you don't wear that dress, well, you can't wear that dress and that dress. It will grow and grow and grow and grow. Why? Well, you're actually feeding into it. You're actually now playing a part of the insecurity because you're not putting a stop to it and saying, hey, hang on a minute. Deal with it. You've got an issue. You need to deal with it. And if they're not prepared to deal with their own problems, then you can't help them.
Number one, if she wanted that other guy, she'd be with him. Every time you see a man that you think she deserves because you don't see the good in yourself, you're not secure. You don't see what she saw in you. Bro, you got to remember she chose you. She saw all of you and still chose it. And the only reason she might be changing right now is because you're showing that insecurity. You're making her doubt her decision because she's seeing you become a man she didn't choose, which leads to number two. Just be yourself. She liked you because you made her laugh or something. Quit comparing yourself to other men that she did not choose, or with an insecure guy that's changing, that's becoming controlling. Because three, he sees her confidence as competition. But instead, what do? You try to knock her down a peg. You think that she gonna find somebody better when all she wants is for you to be better.
She ain't running around on you. She's just not. She lives in a world where men take shots at women. She's not responsible for that. You're questioning her, you're mad at her, you're bringing up stuff about her.
That being with the insecure person, it always seems like you gotta prove yourself. Oh, for real, like I can be loyal as hell, phone clean, move solid, giving you my time and energy, and somehow you still questioning me. Cause it's like every day I gotta clock in to reassure you, explain to you my whereabouts. I'm talking explain my mood, explain my friends. I promise you that's not a relationship. That's probation. And y'all wanna know the worst part? Insecurity will have you making up whole stories in your head, swearing I'm doing something and I'm not. You can't build with somebody who keeps tearing down the trust, especially when you keep trying to give it to them.
It's projection and control wrapped up in concern.
Insecure men will try to destroy the things he loves about you. Why, you may ask? Because he knows that other men are attracted to the same qualities that he noticed in you.
If a dude is insecure while they're in a relationship with a female, she's attractive, other dudes trying to get at her. Instead of being mad at her because she's attractive, that's why you're attracted to her anyway, you need to look internally, be like, yo, why is it bothering me that guys are attracted to her? I'm attracted to her too. That's why I went after her, that's why I got her. Well, certain things that we need to work on personally, but instead, what do? We project our feelings, our emotions onto other people, instead of doing the work.
Is there a point where reassurance all the time becomes an unhealthy habit?
Absolutely. Oh. We always talk about how you can't pour from an empty cup, but you can't pour into a broken cup. And sometimes that cup has a leak in the bottom And no matter how much you pour, how much you validate somebody, you assure somebody, you let them know you there, you ain't leaving, you got they back, no matter the time you tell them they beautiful or whatever, if it's a broken part of that cup, it's going to continue to leak out oftentimes faster than you can reassure them. No matter how many times you give somebody the passcode, no matter how many times you give them your ETA and your location, sometimes an insecure person is an insecure person and they got nothing to do with you. So if it gets to a level where you feel like your assurance, no matter how much you extend yourself, is not enough, that's probably not a relationship for you.
Insecurities hurt relationships because when you're insecure, you'll start to put your insecurities on that person. And what that can do is push that person away because you're bringing in things that you haven't worked on yourself and you start shoving it down your partner's throat. And what that does is you start to separate the love, you start to separate the connection. So insecurities can break a relationship.
Even though you have done nothing wrong, you show her your phone, you explain where you were, you stop hanging with friends just to prove your loyalty. And somehow, she's still convinced you are hiding something. But whether she is or isn't, constant accusations aren't love. They are emotional manipulation. And guess what? It didn't stop the accusations because it was never about what he was doing. It was about her need to control the narrative. This is more than insecurity. It's emotional abuse. When you constantly get accused of cheating, you start questioning yourself. You feel like you have to prove you are a good man. You walk on eggshells just to avoid her blow-ups. That's not trust. That's a mental prison. And the worst part, the more you try to explain yourself, the more guilty you look in her eyes. You can't win. So what can you do? Well, you can stop defending yourself to someone who's not interested in the truth. You can recognize the pattern. This isn't a one-time thing. It's a cycle. False accusation, guilt trip, fake apology, repeat. You can start reclaiming your sanity. You are not crazy. You are not a cheater. You deserve peace. You deserve trust. And you deserve to be believed.
Mad annoying for a nigga who really fuck with you. Because imagine every nigga you fuck with cheats on you, right? And when you get one nigga and you decide to cuff him, any little gesture of something you are insecure or unsure about, you're gonna blame him for cheating. At first it's funny and niggas gonna laugh and be like, you tweaking. You think niggas wanna hear that for months? You think niggas wanna overextend themselves and prove to you that they're not cheating when niggas is just not cheating? Bro, you know how it feels to fully invest in somebody and you're like, I 100% trust you. And somebody could look at you in your face and be like, I don't trust you. I'm just so sorry for my experience. I don't fully trust you. So nigga, why you with me? That's mad annoying.
If you don't get it together, she gonna secure her heart somewhere else.
So I'm gonna let you think about what I said, but I want you to know that whether or not we stay together depends on your behaviors.